everybody? What's happening? How's everybody doing? Thank you for being here. Thanks for spending a little bit of your precious time here on Earth with me today. Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I've been on the road. I've been traveling a lot. I've been on vacation, so I haven't really. I skipped YouTube. As you know, I try to stream here. I'm on, YouTube Cheds Trading, and I try to stream a couple times a day. I try to be as active as possible. I want to put out free content. I want to connect with the community. But like when I'm traveling, I'm going to skip YouTube. It's optional for me. Bitcoin Live is not optional. I never skip those updates. So if you don't see me here, normally Tuesday, Friday, I've got something going on. So don't stress it too much. I'll try to get to it when I can. But by the way, folks, I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds. I mentioned Bitcoin Live, and here I am on Twitter, on YouTube. So I've got other stuff coming out. I haven't streamed recently, but Trading Encyclopedia, I've got brand new videos every day. This is essentially 3-minute videos designed to teach you complicated technical analysis, professional technical analysis concepts. These are 3-minute videos. I just encourage you to check it out. When I put out a tweet, I tend to be academic. I studied CMT. I take this stuff kind of seriously. So you may hear a term and you wonder what I'm talking about. If I have it, I'll try to link it for you, but you should go and check the playlist as well. It's just going to help you out, folks. I'm also have a lot of interviews coming out. My latest interview was with Jason Pizzino, who is a YouTube creator, a trader. He does some great work, so check that out. That's long-form interview series. I did Checkmatey, I did Flawless, and I've got a whole bunch coming up in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for all that good stuff. As you know, I am a partner with BingX. It's my favorite exchange. But I do have a new option for my friends here in the US who are unable to use some of these other ones. So if you're looking for somewhere in the US, somewhere to trade perps, check out edgeX. And I've got the link in my video and on my YouTube channel, and you can check that out and stuff. So go ahead and check that out. But we're not here for that. We're here to talk about Bitcoin. We got Ethereum all-time high. I've got this kind of goofy-looking 4-hour markup here that I want to walk through. So I'm actually expecting to bounce right here. I don't know if you folks know, but I had been calling for a bounce for like the last 2 days. So let's go back. I have like a lot of tweets. I have a lot of tweets to go through to catch up how we got here. So let's see. So going way back, we had the outside bar, and we know that was a suggestion that the trend was slowing down. We might be facing some consolidation. So we have the outside bar here. And the question had been, what kind of follow through are we going to get on the outside bar? What's it going to mean? What is it going to lead to? And really, you can't just call a top on just a minor, just a kind of a minor sell signal like this. It's just a minor sell or consolidation signal. And really just when we saw this, what you should have thought is that it's probably just going to drop back into the range. It's probably just going to drop back and test support. And we began to do that. We began to test support. And 116K was the first logical level, right? 116K was the logical level because it was these prior lows. The price held it on a throwback. And so that was the first level to watch, right? So 116K failed, and then we had 112K, which was just laser focused. Bulls were laser focused on 112K. That was the prior all-time high, and you see here, it was the swing low, meaning it was the last major low before making a new all-time high, right? So after the outside bar for Bitcoin, you watch 116K, and then we're watching 112, and it is a nice day for a stream. Thank you, Martwan. Good to see you. After the price got to 112, what I noticed was volume was forming. So let's get to it. So. All right, a lot of tweets. I've been super active. Poised for bounce. This is the tweet, which I pretty much nailed it. But I've just been waiting here. Poised for bounce. 112.2, and that was kind of right at the nut low. But the reason why I was thinking it was due for a bounce is we just had a pretty big drop, right? 123. 124K all the way down to 112, and 112 was a major level. And you look here on the 4-hour, you started to see you started to see volume started to build. So we started to see volume building as the price was testing the key level. And I was just expecting a bounce. We had this really sharp descending supply trend line, right here. And so I was watching for, either like a local break here, 114.5, 4-hour thesis, and just watching for volume when we got it. You could have had even more aggressive long here, but beautiful bounce. And then we saw a little bit of 4-hour weakness, big candle, medium candle, another smaller candle. I believe this is called advanced block pattern. I have to do a video on it. I have so many things I'm trying to do for you folks, but I think this is called advanced block. It's either that or petrifying pattern. It's one of those. I've read too many textbooks. But anyway, the price clearly advanced and then said it was going to consolidate, and now we drop right back. And here we are. I mean, we've got, the 4-hour candle here is only 1 hour in, but, we're starting to form a doji, an inside bar, and it would make sense for the price to hold here. So I actually think we're going to bounce here at this level. It'd be a very logical level for the bulls to hold. I mean, we're talking about a weekly uptrend still. And it's an incredibly strong weekly trend. We still have price above EMA 8, which is the green line. You can, again, watch the trading encyclopedia to understand why I use the moving averages I use and what they mean. But it's just a really strong weekly trend. We had the daily pausing consolidation candle, outside bar. We'll get to Ethereum in a second, folks. And then 116 test, 112K test, and bounce off 112K, and bounce back to what's a higher low target. So we're looking for a higher low here, right? We've already got 112K, pretty well established, line in the sand. Needs to hold. Big bounce, consolidation, 4H MA200 underside, and here we are, right? So you get a bounce back into what's a logical stair-step level, and that's the tweet I put out. Here's the bounce, clean bounce into 116K. Some caution should be exercised, right? Well, here, why would I say this? Chad, you just called for a bounce. We got a bounce. But why should caution be exercised? Well, it's the principle of polarity where essentially, lost support becomes resistance. So you have a situation like this. You come up, call that 116K, you come down and you bounce. You got to, pay attention to that level. So it's kind of what happened. It was a little bit higher, right around 117, but it's a bounce into underside of lost support, caution, and then it rolled over as expected. And then again, higher, low, watch. So clean bounce into 116K underside. We'll get to Ethereum. And then here we go. 3 hours ago, Bitcoin now approaching logical stair-step throwback level. There's a lot of words, right? Logical, okay, stair-step. Stair-step, what's stair-step? And I have videos on this, but essentially stair-stepping is like that, where you come back and you turn prior resistance into support. And so there you go. So logical stair-step target, that's our logical higher low. I'll get to the chat room in a second. I've got a lot of stuff I want to say. And so I think we're probably going to bounce right here. That's just my instinct, just based on kind of an orderly consolidation. It would make sense to me to see a little bounce here. So logical stair-step throwback. Again, a throwback is just a bullish retest from above. Stair-step, bullish throwback. Essentially the same thing. I linked, for you folks on Twitter, I linked the trading encyclopedia for throwback. It's in here somewhere. I mean, you could just hit search by word and you'll find the word throwback, but just kind of anything you're looking for is here. What time frame should I use? So I think we're due for a bounce in Bitcoin. The weekly trend is still quite strong. We're closing below the MA50. It's a little bit of weakness, but it's not a big deal. We still have incredible price distance to the rising daily MA200 or the trend. I think you just, everything above 112K is full on bull. I mean, no question. Below 112K, we start to think, okay, what are we looking at next? Maybe a deeper consolidation. And again, the name of the game for the top in Bitcoin's weekly MA50. When we start to see the price close below the weekly MA50, we'll start to get a little bit more concerned. We'll adjust our risk posture. There's MA50 up here. And it's the same thing that happened in 2021. So it started losing MA50. And that was a big clue. All right, let's do Ethereum next. But before I do that, I want to say hi to the chat room. Look at that gorgeous chart. Woo! All right, what is up, Matej? Nice to see you. Chocolate. Mohammed, Psalm Capital, Influence. What's up, Don, Riot, Daniel, Abreu, Andy, Richard. What's up, everybody? Thanks for chilling with me on a Saturday, folks. Hey, give me feedback. Have you folks seen the Trading Encyclopedia? What do you think? I also should mention I published a new book, not a new book, a new chapter in Trading Quotes. This is my third book. I just published weeks 20 and 21, 23 hours ago. So check that out. I'm still trying to, even if I'm not live streaming, I'm trying to put out a lot of content for you guys. Influence says, good to be back. What's up? Love from Qatar. What's up, Mohammed? Catching your stream from the beach. Man, I wish I was at the beach. So a couple requests. Let's see, SPX. We'll look at that in a second. So, all right. So you guys can build up a couple questions and some good questions. Chart request. Ethereum, we have the right angle ascending broadening wedge, the bullish pattern. We have the high time frame breakout. Been talking about this. I'm not trying to do a fib retracement tool. I've talked about this quite a bit on Twitter. You've seen it, and we have a high time frame breakout. What does it mean? Well, we have the high time frame breakout, but this is a pretty good example of the idea of an obstacle being in the way of a measured move. And I tweeted this out some point. I linked, on balance volume. I have so many tweets, so many videos. But there is a video I have in the Trading Encyclopedia, which is essentially the idea of, here's measured move. And this also will help you out. But the idea of volume cluster, what's a line chart? Where is it? Bump and run reversal. I've been super active. It's the idea that when you have a breakout target, you can't look past, structure overhead. So let's say support here. Support's lost. Comes back, and let's say just below this support level, right? Let's say it forms like an ascending triangle here, okay? So you have this ascending triangle, and you're taking your measured move, and like your measured move would get you like normally into the middle of here, in terms of the height of the triangle, right? Extending out. But the point is, you can't overlook prior structure for any kind of a price target, right? Like the linear target on this right descending broadening right angled triangle, right, is $6,500 linear, and it's like 10K basically logarithmic. And again, using logarithmic on higher time frames, using logarithmic on more volatile moves, and linear and kind of slower stuff. Ash says, yo, Ched, did I miss the BTC bottom again? Like, well, which bottom, brother? There's millions of bottoms. I think it's bouncing right here. So, there it is. It's already up a little bit. I made the call several hours ago that this is like probably where it's going to bounce. It would make a lot of sense for it to find support here on the 4 hour. So like, here's another bottom. What do you mean the bottom? Bitcoin's given us so many good entries. Since we all got long at 18.5K together, so many entries. So, there's another one right here. So I don't know, missing the bottom. But in any case, so Ethereum, right? It's got this high time frame target, but you can't overlook obstacles along the way. And the obstacle to this high time frame break is this prior all-time high, right? So the 40, what is it? It was like 48.50 all-time high. So we had a bounce out of major structure and just an initial rejection, which is okay. It's super, super, super bullish. Certainly, you'd be looking to buy any kind of a throwback or a bullish retest of this structure. And when we zoom in, this looks really good. I did put out a tweet, which I'll walk through for you, just to kind of, I like to do these streams and explain my tweets. I can get a little bit academic, as you know, folks. And thanks for everybody showing up on a Saturday. Make sure you go to YouTube, Cheds Trading. Check out the Trading Encyclopedia. I've made it for you. So what did I say on Ethereum? Bitcoin, I explained this tweet. Here we go. All right, folks. So Ethereum, new all-time high into 4 hour evening doji star with upthrust. There's a lot of words in there. Okay. So we made a new all-time high, and then 4 hours a lower time frame. Just an initial pause. This is an evening doji star. It's a 3-candle combination. Doesn't have to be a Maribozu, but big green candle, doji in the middle. If it's a spinning top, it's just an evening star. Having the doji makes it an evening doji star. and then a drop back. And the red candle doesn't necessarily have to be equal to the green. It can usually sometimes only go the middle point of the candle. For example, if you remember back on Ethereum, we had that exact structure here. It wasn't necessarily an evening doji star. This is a tower top, but the tower top dropped to the midpoint of the candle. You see that similar structure. Evening doji star with upthrust. Why is it an upthrust? Well, it temporarily made a new all-time high and it couldn't hold it. But, you know, this is just minor consolidation. You see this happen all the time and people freak out where you have a level up here. You come in, you do whatever you're doing, and you shoot right up to it. You can pause a little bit and then grab a higher low. Grab a higher low here and then maybe here. Get some rising demand. Right? So just consolidation's okay. Like people freak out with consolidation. So Ethereum looks unbelievably strong. Unbelievably strong. This is just a minor pause. What do you do with it here? I'd probably target throwback around 45.50, which is what I put 45.50. One of the I had a great question from a Bitcoin Live member in the video on the page, like why not here? Well, from a momentum standpoint, I feel like it makes more sense to drop just a little bit lower. And I think this probably roughly lines up with almost 50%. I don't necessarily draw these that often, but I tend to just visualize it. But just this roughly is closer to 50%. You know, I don't need the tool. I kind of just visualize it, right? So it's just momentum, probably drop here, logical target, right? So looking to buy the dip Ethereum 45.50. Bitcoin essentially has given us an entry just it's happening right now. Right at what is it? Right at here. Right at boom. Here we go. Higher low hunt. We're looking for higher low. 114.5 is logical target. We got to 114.5. I put up the tweet. Here we are. Boom. Right. So this is just a logical spot for Bitcoin. Okay. All right. What's going on? We got a lot of stuff in the market. What do we think? You've got some requests. Maybe I'll just jump over to the chat room, see what you guys want to talk about. What's up, Stefanos? There'll be more moves at the end. Stefano says, I missed the moves. That's Church of Eight Wheels. What's up, Tom? Let's see. Can you look at SPX 6900? Sure. I mean, it's bullish. It's a good, although it's unwinding a little bit. We'll go to the daily chart. You have a break of the rising demand trend. You can call it a trend line, but it's really just a line to show you a trend of demand. I would just wait a little bit, let it consolidate. It's in a falling channel, which is healthy, and you have support right here, pretty good cluster of support. So let it consolidate, let it chill out, let it cool down. Probably your best bet for asymmetric risk would be like around $1, and it's kind of been the same picture in this chart. It's the same, you know, from the last time I actually covered this, you know, a week or two ago on here on YouTube. All right, what is up? Marcos, virtuals. Okay. You said thanks and please. That works for me. Virtuals. What do we think about virtual? Virtual. Where can I get Gate? These are weird exchanges. Let's see. Virtuals. Protocol. Okay, let's go. There we go. Automatic. Okay, I've got some old markings from the last time I covered it. And so what did we talk about last time? We talked about the nice V bottom or rounding bottom. It looks like we identified this as a key momentum pivot right around $1.35. The price looks to be failing to hold that. We identified the bounce into the macro lower high. Here's the original high. Here is the macro or big picture lower high, and then another one. So we have a progression of lower highs. We're in a falling channel. Looks like momentum's rolling over on this chart. I would be careful. Now I'm going to clean it up and take a fresh look. I would shift my focus, kind of like SPX, right to that round number, right around $1. You've got some structure here where the price did pause after initially breaking out of the range. You see the two-level filter as well. The prior two-level filter breakout, meaning diagonal, then horizontal. What does that mean? Of course, I have a video in the Trading Encyclopedia explaining what a two-level filter is. It's a way to kind of play a downtrend without getting in a lot of trouble. You wait for momentum to shift, right? So that already played out, watching that $1 level and then maybe 82, 83. Momentum's rolled over. It's in a falling channel right now. So there you go, buddy. Talk about SPX. Hey, Chocolate. Sure, I'll take a look at Hype. What do we think about Hype? There it is. Hype. All right, it's one of the better looking charts without a doubt. Nice recapture of maybe 42, 42.50 range. Would like to see that hold here. Now we drop to the 4 hour to see what this consolidation looks like. We see the break of the descending trend, recapture of this this lost support, and really just want to see it hold 43.50 going forward. It's a nice looking chart. It's consolidating. Definitely bullish. Rather be a bull. Yeah, March 1, I don't like the virtuals chart either. Doesn't look so good. Doesn't look so good. Hey, Tom, what's up, man? I'd like to know your low time frame thoughts on Aurora on Sol. I don't think I've heard of this one before. Aurora on Sol? Like, what do we it's just Aurora? Is this even the right one? You folks play too many coins, so I don't even know if oh, this is terrible. Is this something else? Give me the symbol, Tom. Is this Aurora? Is this it? Or is it something else? This is terrible, whatever this one is, okay? Let's see, Psalm Capital. Can you take the measured move as an exit plan? So what is a measured move is a question, right? So say you have like a double bottom, right? You've got peak, you got trough, peak, trough. The measured move is the height from the peak to the trough, right? So that's your measured move rule. I actually have a video, what a surprise, in the encyclopedia on the measured move rule. You can find it. It's in here. The question was, can you take the measured move as an exit plan upon clearing the obstacle? I mean, just measured moves are just a guideline, but they're not really worth much. They don't really do anything for you because, again, you're going to follow along with the trend. So, I mean, measured move, schmeasured move, right? It doesn't really give you much. It's just a super basic starting point. You still have to execute based on what the price is doing in relation to actual supply and demand levels. So, you know, measured moves really aren't that important. Here's Bitcoin bouncing so far, just as I anticipated, as I projected, as I tweeted out. I think we bounce here, looking pretty good so far. AVAX, Mikhail, do I see any bullish signs of this dead coin? Well, you said AVAX versus Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin's been pretty strong, so that's going to be a bad chart, AVAX BTC. But we can look at AVAX USD, and I believe this is also a bad chart. Hopefully you're not in it. Let's see. Well, it's actually not too bad. I take back what I said. So AVAX, here's a 4 hour. Let's go to the weekly price compression, no trend. Daily chart, not much going on here, but it is giving you all you really, as a trader, I'm a trader, right? I'm not an investor. None of this means anything to me. It's all nonsense. But as a trader, all you really want is a well-defined price level. You've got a pretty well-defined overhead level. If the price can flip 27, you can take a long. I just wouldn't touch it until then. That's how I would view AVAX. Matej, thanks for everything. Thank you, Matej. Sure. What's up, Tommy? XRP, hashtag the standard. $3. Descending supply trend. Basically just means it's downward channel. You've got lows here right around. I mean, you want to see 3 hold. That's okay. You've got support 275. It's an uptrend. This is a pretty good looking chart. It's still digesting the prior move. Again, I'm not much of a fib guy, but you see it's generally holding at roughly half of the move, right? That's your midpoint. It's generally holding there. Want to see that hold going forward. Price is consolidating, but you also view this as just a rectangle. Or a box in Japanese candlestick nomenclature. It's a pretty good looking chart. I do like it. How's everybody doing on a Saturday? Give me some love. Say something in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Tommy, I just looked at XRP. Thanks, Marcos. Appreciate you, bud. What's up, Stefanos? I'll take a look at Ondo for you. Sure. What else, guys? What else is going on? Somebody asked me about Jackson Hole. I'll look to that in a second. I don't have any opinion of Jackson Hole. You know I'm not a fundamental analyst. Yeah, Ondo doesn't look good. What is the question? For me, it looks like it's consolidating and would trigger long on a close. So in terms of, you said trigger, right? Close. That's a good call. You can use, how do you confirm, a breakout, right? Again, what a surprise. I have a video on confirmation. How do I confirm a breakout? It might be right near the top. Let's sort by most popular. There's the measured move rules. Here's confirmation, right? How do I confirm a breakout? It's right there. The idea is you can confirm on a 4-hour close. You could confirm in a daily close. It could be a 1-hour wick, whatever you want. You decide based on your, how much time you have to watch it. Would it confirm in 108, like above these? Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Here's the thing. There isn't much of a trend here on Ondo. Who asked? Was it Stefanos? There's not much of a trend. You have to be careful with this type of a chart. I mean, you've got decent structure. You've got a decent overhead level, but it very easily can bounce and, reject at 120, and you're going to chop sideways. So I still just don't like the style of the chart, the texture. It's just kind of choppy sideways. If you like Ondo for some other reason, like it's a technology to you or a company or whatever to you, I mean, that's fine. And your thesis is reasonable. I wouldn't use 108. I would use this peak for sure, like around 115. Yeah, BNB looked sick, man. BNB's like been one of the best charts. And I've been saying for a long time, when BNB's strong, it's reflective of like a strong altcoin market. Folks, please like, please subscribe. Yeah, it's a strong altcoin market when BNB is strong. So I'm always happy to see BNB charging higher. Just made a new all-time high. BNB looks really good. Education about fibs, says Galuch. I've already recorded 2 videos on fibs. They haven't come out yet. Fibonacci. Let's try to see if I can give you an example. Let's take so for example, you can take like a retracement, right? And you can basically just say, from the low to the high, what's like 50%, what are the key levels, right? And people look at retracement, right? 50% or the golden pocket at 6.5 and 6.78. You can adjust these levels. These are most of the common ones. You don't really need this. You can just eyeball it, right? And then you can take like, people use measured move rules, but like like other people use where's the tool? I don't use it that much for the Fibonacci retracement extension trend-based fib. So you could take like the low, let's do it the other way around. High. So you basically take like the swing low, swing high, and then where it just paused, right? The swing, the higher low, and it gives you like an extension of the move beyond where you're going. It's okay. This works pretty well with like Elliott wave theory, which I don't teach and I don't use. I am studying it. I'm doing CMT2, and I will make videos for you on cycles and Elliott wave theory and all this other stuff that I don't like use myself in a day in and day out basis, but it will help me learn them better to teach them to you. So I'll make a video, and I do have a couple of videos already recorded on how to use fib tools. So just hang tight, Galush. It will come out. Bobby says, I see SPK as a good entry. SPK? I don't know if I've heard of that one. SPK. All right. You see this as a good entry. Bobby, explain to me why. Bobby Sukmo Hat Maji. What's up, brother? Is that like, this is a good entry? There's no history in this. Good entry. Why? What's your thesis, man? I don't like this chart at all. There's no history. This looks like a downtrend. This is probably going lower, so I don't think it's a good entry. So, let's see. Doge was requested. What is going on with the Doge father? Doge. I don't have it up here because it's been like a crappy chart. I don't really like to cover it. Let's take a look at the Doge coin. It is kind of a garbage chart. This is just a bad chart. Why do people still playing it? It's choppy, it's sideways, it's unconfirmed downtrend, price above a falling MA200. You've got overhead here roughly around 27, 28. I just don't like the chart. Like, why would you play this? There's just so many other way better stuff, higher beta, stronger trends. Yeah, if it breaks 27, 28, maybe you take a sniff, take a look at it, but I would avoid the chart. This is bad. And there's a lot of good charts right now. This is certainly not one of them. Okay. Let's see. I'm checking the chat room. Talked about hype. There you go. I looked at Doge, Chris. There you go. What's a good area to enter long in Doge? Why do you want to enter long in Doge, Chris? I mean, maybe if it drops back to 17 cents, take a look. But there's no trend here, right? If you want to go long in something, find an uptrend that just dipped. If you want to go short, find a downtrend that just ripped. Like, what is this? This is just garbage. Why would you want to go long in this? I don't get it, right? Is it because is this because it's like about the meme, about the whatever? Like, there's just nothing here from a trend standpoint. So, DS wants to look at Sui. Oh, okay, we'll bounce around. Folks, like I said, I've been on vacation. I've been traveling. This is going to be uploaded to the quick market updates. I normally stream like twice a week, but when I'm traveling, you know, these are extra, so I don't do these, right? I always do Bitcoin Live. As you know, I haven't skipped that in whatever, 7 years, but check out all the stuff I have still on my YouTube. Even if I'm not live streaming, I've got interviews coming out. I just did trading quotes book, brand new videos every day, trading encyclopedia. Sui looks good. I like Sui. Like Sui looked way better than Doge. So you should be asking me, instead of like, how can I get an entry in Doge? Like, how can I get an entry in Sui? Like, play good charts, you know? Play good charts. This is a nice looking chart. This was called an early or an out of line move, a break in the eventual direction of the trend. This looks like it will continue and will break out. I like Sui. I think it continues. I'd say my thesis is wrong if it can't hold, 325. Hey, Memory, thank you. Appreciate the comment. I'll look at Open Door stock for you, sure. But I'll look at Ave first. A couple of people requested Ave Maria. Wow, look at that. Wow. Interessante. Okay. Christopher Moltisanti. Okay. Bounce into overhead. Consolidating. I think you're just wanting to posture to buy a dip if you get a chance in this range, right? Like this is one you'd want to buy a dip in, not Doge or like these other nonsense. So let's clean it up though. You get the bounce into the overhead, the price here, rising demand structure. I'm kind of just marking up things I'm seeing visually. That's your first throwback target, okay? So drop back to 320 to 325 would be ideal to play a throwback or a bullish retest. You have an overhead level as well. Definitely can take a long if it breaks 375. Now that we've marked out our major levels, we kind of zoom in, look at the texture of the consolidation, and look at all this accumulation. Look at all this beautiful accumulation. You have to like that. That looks really good. So I think this probably does continue. I like the chart. So what was it? Open door? Sure. Open. Hey, when one door opens, another door opens. Open door, open door. Open the door. Hold the door. Okay, what do we think about this one? It's a nice chart. Yeah, it's bullish. Good job. Nice looking chart. However, it means right here. Let's go to, I'm on 4 hour. I want to go to weekly actually. Wow. So it's a massive move into just an incredibly significant level for the trend. I mean, there's no reason not to be long if it can break $5. It's right there. So this is a spot where you can break through. This is asymmetric risk. It can break through. You take a long. You can short with a tight stop loss. You can look for a rejection and a bullish throwback and buy the dip. $253 range on a throwback. There's definitely a quiet chart and boom, action, volume coming in. There's something going on here and significant move into that $5 level. There's so many requests. I don't know if I can do them all. I definitely can't do them all. I just want to reiterate, folks, I put out a bunch of tweets recently kind of walking through Bitcoin specifically and why I was expecting a bounce, right? Here we go, poised for bounce. You see the volume was building up. We had a volume cluster. The price on Bitcoin is really strong in the high time frame, but we got a little bit of a warning sign on the daily, right? We'll go to the beautiful weekly trend, of course, on Bitcoin, a little bit of a warning sign. On the daily, the outside bar with the up thrust. And again, the posture was to look to see for price response, 116K, and then 112K. And the price initially failed to hold at 116K, dropped to 112, which is just a logical spot to bounce, even if it's a bounce into some type of a lower high to begin a falling channel. It's just very likely to bounce here. So I started to see this volume forming in the 4 hour, and I said, poised to bounce, and that was kind of the nut low there. In fairness, I'd been calling for a bounce for about 2 days because it looked to me like it was ready for it. It was due for it. Then we got the bounce. And now we have some more consolidation, rejected underside, right? Rejected underside. And then here it is from a couple hours ago. Now approaching logical stair step throwback level. I talked about that very clearly. It looks like it should hold here at 114.5. I've been saying that, and we're starting to see some initial response. Let's clean it up. Again, I'm just reiterating for you folks who missed it. I think Bitcoin's going to bounce here. Is the bottom line. It should hold here. If it doesn't, obviously you just go back to 112K. Really, everything over 112K is unquestionably bullish. Below 112K, probably start to look at deeper targets. You know, maybe I'll get to that in the next video, but right now it looks like it's going to bounce. All right, we're talking about Aave. I'm keen to hear your thoughts. It seems like it's trying to break a downtrend. Tom, what are we talking about? It's called Aurora. Okay, it's Aurora Sol. All right. Aura Sol. Okay. Aura Sol. You're keen to hear my thoughts. Okay, I'm keen to give them to you. This is a bad chart, man. What are you doing? Well, that's a 4-hour. I would avoid it. I mean, it's technically an uptrend, but it's in a corrective state. It's in a falling channel. I wouldn't really touch it until it gets lower. You know, around 10 cents. It looks like it's trying to break a downtrend. How? Where's the evidence of that? I mean, yeah, you get the outside bar is nice, but there's a little bit of volume in the outside bar. I mean, look, it's either going to break a higher low around 1920 or it's going to drop back to 10. I wouldn't play in between. I think it probably does drop back to around 10 cents. And that'd be my view on it, right? Even though the outside bar is nice, maybe a little bounce and then come back. It wants to test here. It just kind of has that look. So that's my opinion. J. Kim, why you always skip my messages? Dude, it's just me. I'm just a guy in an orange mask. There's no moderator. Do you folks not realize that? Like, it's people are like, oh, you're skipping my messages. Why do you ignore me? I'm chilling with a couple monitors, orange mask, microphone, and I'm spot picking messages, doing my best. Kim, can you look at Galaxy? Okay, I'll look at yours. I guess the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but you don't have to mauled about it. Like, I'm not skipping your messages. I just don't see it, man. It's just me, brother. Galaxy, what is it? GLXY? Yeah. I mean, folks, come on. Come on. These are free streams I'm doing for fun on a Saturday. Don't take it personal. Galaxy looks good. It's a throwback. It's a drop back to the prior high. Pretty straightforward. We'll extend this here. Kind of look back. Yeah, it looks good. It's doing what is called a throwback or a bullish retest of broken resistance. I happen to have a video on this concept in the Trading Encyclopedia, the bullish throwback. Let's see if we can find it here. I have so many videos. How to play a fake out. Here it is. Throwback bullish retest. It's exactly what's going on Galaxy. Galaxy looks good. Looks good. All right. Folks, this has been a great stream. We've been going for about 37 minutes. That's a little bit too long. I already covered XRP, Bo Wang. You can check back earlier in the video. I talked about Bitcoin. I talked about the fact the weekly trend is strong. I talked about how we've had a little bit of daily consolidation starting with the outside bar. You can't call top, right? You can't call top until there's much more damage done. You still want to give full deference to the trend. You want to look to buy the dips. Certainly 112K is an important line in the sand. I called for a bounce off that level. We got to bounce off that level. It's logical. And now I think we're going to bounce off 114.5, even if it's just into some type of an equilibrium, right? Like even if we just do something like this, and then who knows, it still looks like it probably should bounce right here. So I'm kind of watching for that. That's just fun little low channel, lower time frame channel trading, right? So 112K is an incredibly important line in the sand. If that fails, if it loses 112K, sure 110K, but given the significance of this level, swing low, prior response, I don't think it would hold 110K. I think we're kind of looking more to around 106. And that's what I discussed with Bitcoin Live members on Thursday. Yeah, I did an off day report. So I think 112K, 16K, and you kind of go from there. What's important to watch is going to be the weekly MA50, right? Weekly MA50 is held. Weekly MA50 is held. We want to watch the weekly MA50, and you can't really call top until more damage has been done, right? You have to give bulls the full benefit of the doubt, right? If you remember back, 2021 top, weekly 50, weekly 50, weekly 50, started to lose it, lost it. And then we had the underside and the failed breakout. And this is when you could 100% call top. Yes, I called top on the day, but I got lucky. That was a local top I called, not a high time frame top. There's a local top based on like Litecoin bouncing and some other market things, doing their thing. So we're still watching weekly MA50 on Bitcoin. We did observe the outside bar. This did suggest to me that we're going to have a little bit of a consolidation, and that has followed through. It's had pretty good follow through already on just this simple outside bar observation. I tweeted it out. People are like, Cheds, what are you talking about? And it's the outside bar with an upthrust. It's interestingly enough the similar structure to the 2021 top, but there's no follow through yet. So let's just chill out. We're going to go step by step, play each level. You still want to be buying dips in uptrends. Ethereum is incredibly strong. I talked about a logical in the stream. I talked about a logical throwback or retest level for a new entry would be around like 45.50. You have some initial pause at the all-time high, which is fine. Beautiful advance into all-time high. Ethereum looks strong, and Ethereum is definitely turned a corner against Bitcoin. I mean, that's just undeniable at this point. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? What does it mean for the rest of the market? Is it altcoin season? People always ask me, is it alt season? What does it mean for my bags? Well, just play each chart. Just play. If you're going to play curve, play based on whatever curve is doing, right? What is curve doing? Yeah, not terrible. Still holding roughly 75 to 80 cents. But you don't need to know what Ethereum is doing if you're playing curve, or if you're playing Maker or Bitcoin Cash or Hype or any of these. Like, you don't need to know, hey, what's curve going to do if Bitcoin does whatever. Don't add all this complexity to your system. Just play the chart in front of you. So those are my thoughts here on a Saturday. My next stream will be Tuesday, kind of mid-morning. I got something going on, so it won't be at 12. But I'm live on YouTube those 2 days a week. I try to be live. When I'm not live, you can just check out all the stuff I have for you. Trading Encyclopedia. These are 3-minute videos. I'm teaching you professional technical analysis. I've done CMT 1. I'm studying for CMT 2. And soak up these videos. Binge watch it. Trading Quotes is my 3rd book. I'm reading the whole book for free. I'm making my whole book free. I like to make all my stuff free. New video Trading Quotes is out. I just did an interview with Jason Bazzino. You may have heard of him. He's really solid dude. That's in my interview series. I have more interviews coming out. I'll probably record 1 or 2 next week. I'm going to keep that all rolling. So soak it up. Soak it up on the YouTube channel at Cheds Trading. I am a partner with BingX. I've worked with them for like 5 years. I do have a new partnership for my U.S. friends in the U.S. who like can't VPN or can't do whatever. Check out edgeX. You can trade perps on there. And I'm partnered with them. So I have the link in this video and link on my feed and all that good stuff. So, and of course, Bitcoin Live. I'm a founding analyst. I've been doing my market reports there for since 2018, and I haven't skipped one. I think I've skipped like one since I started. So check out all that stuff out. But I mean, honestly, most of what I do is free. I try to make it accessible to everybody. I try to teach you everything, and I can be highly academic on Twitter, and I put all these terms, throwback, stair stepping, doji star. I'm making videos for you so you can understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be obscure. I'm not trying to play a gotcha game. I'm creating all this content for you. Take advantage of it. Step through the door, put in the effort, and things will work out better. So, Tom Dante, I'll make a note. To reach out to Tom Dante and add him to my list. All right, folks. Thank you so much. We're going to finish up with Church of 8 Wheels. That's my favorite dancing song, and we will go from there, folks. Thank you for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. Let's do this. Thank you all. Be well. Big Cheds out.